Excited to be live with you again and really excited to talk about this topic. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get this shared into my community. As we all know, Facebook has made some tweaks on what we can and can't do when it comes to lives. But while we are getting going, I want you to drop in the comments for me, what is your biggest struggle when it comes to burnout, right? So obviously burnout is the struggle, but like, what do you feel is causing burnout for you? Okay. What do you think it is? Is it the amount of content creation? Is it maybe, what you're doing on a daily basis? Tell me in the comments while I get this shared into my private community. What are you struggling with when it comes to burnout? Is it that you just don't have ideas? Tell me, is it expectations? Is it imposter syndrome that makes you feel like you have to do more? And then that just ends up causing you to kind of be in paralysis analysis? Because today we're going to talk about the number one reason ADHD entrepreneurs struggle with the burnout. And then, of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging. We're going to talk about how to fix it. Okay, so today's going to be kind of short and sweet. If you want the replay, to access to the replay of this, if for some reason you can't watch the whole thing, then you can jump into Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs, which is my private Facebook community. This is where all the replays are stored until Facebook decides to just delete all of them, because apparently that is happening. So I am in the process of actually pulling them off Facebook and putting them somewhere else, but I'm not going to give you too many details on that right now because I want to dive into what we're talking about today. So 1 minute, you're in hyperfocus mode, you are knocking shit out, right? Let me know in the comments. And then the next minute, you are like, I'm going to burn this whole damn business down, right? It's a business cycle that's just not sustainable, and no one really tells you how to fix it except me. And that is the purpose of today. So I think we're everywhere we need to be. Let's dive into the actual content, the meat of this, okay? It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're inconsistent or incapable. You're burning out because you're running your business like a sprint when it's actually a marathon, which is ironic because I talk a lot about ADHD entrepreneurs needing to work in sprints. Yes, we do, but you still have to have that long-term vision for your business. So drop me a fire in the comments if you've hit a wall, whether it's now or ever, and thought, why can't I just be more consistent, right? You've started, you've got apps, you've got planners, you've got Google Docs and all these notes in your iPhones that are so unorganized. You probably have thousands of content ideas in there, but you can't be consistent with the execution part, okay? If you constantly feel like you are on the edge of exhaustion, that is why you're here today. All right. So by the end of this live, I really want you to understand exactly why ADHD entrepreneurs burn out and then how to break that cycle for good. So drop an I'm in the comments. Let me know if you want the ADHD-friendly system that prevents burnout, and I will actually send you the information. Now, if you're on TikTok, unfortunately, I can't send you all the info in the comments, in the DMs. So you can actually just DM me the word momentum on Instagram or Facebook, and I will send you all the deets on the ADHD-friendly system that will prevent burnout. But today, I really want to talk about the burnout trap and why it's not what you think it is, okay? So I used to think that burnout happened because I was doing too much, all right? And that is accurate to an extent, but the truth is I was doing too much of the wrong things, okay? I was stuck in this cycle of intense hyperfocus, complete crash, avoidance, and then like an emergency scramble. All right. So drop an OMG in the comments if that sounds like you. And it's kind of funny because right now I am in the process of rebuilding my academy. It's in a rebrand process, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. I don't want to give you all of the deeds. If you saw my IG story yesterday, there was a spoiler alert, and I'm going to put another one on there today. So I hope you're following me over there. But right now I am in an intense hyper focus because I am building something massive for ADHD entrepreneurs. And I'm not talking about just more training, because the truth is you don't need more information. You need execution. And I'm building systems to execute with you, help you with that, and really get that dialed in. But my purpose of telling you that is you do have to intense hyper focus when you are building in your business. So if you're launching, if you're building something new, if you're releasing a new offer, if you're trying to refine something, optimize something, but that should not be forever. Because if it is, you are going to go through that cycle of complete crashing, avoiding, and then an emergency scramble. And so I want you to imagine for a second, your brain is like, a sports car, and you've got a faulty gas gauge. Okay. When you're hyper focused, you're flooring it. You're 100 miles an hour. You're thinking you've got unlimited fuel. You're going. You're having the time of your life in some Ferrari, right? And then out of nowhere, it sputters, it stalls, and it crashes. And you're like, holy shit, I hope insurance covers this, right? And that's because you didn't realize you were running on empty to begin with. ADHD burnout is not just because you're working long hours. It's really about energy mismanagement. And in the live I did 2 weeks ago, we talked about, being stuck in research mode and being stuck in learn out mode. And I've dropped several YouTube videos this month around, the cycles of being an ADHD entrepreneur. But our energy is tied to our emotions. So if you are mismanaging your energy, then of course that's going to take a dip in your emotion. And then that's when the executive dysfunction takes over. That's when the fear of rejection takes over. That's when you get an analysis paralysis. Your brain, as someone with ADHD, really thrives in high energy bursts. But if you don't build system recovery in there, then you are going to just hit the wall, and you're going to keep hitting the wall. You can hustle, and I've said this multiple times, you can hustle your way to 6 figures. You will not hustle your way to 7 figures. Okay. And just because I said you can hustle to 6 figures, that doesn't mean you can sustain it. It is all about systems and workflows and processes. And it's time you have to start running your business like an ADHD CEO, not an employee. Okay. So let me know in the comments if you feel like you're always running on fumes. Now, I've got 3 kids. Okay. One plays travel ball, one has special needs, one is graduating this year. I got multiple businesses actually. Some you don't know about, they're behind the scenes. So yes, it's exhausting. And yes, I can always feel like I'm running on fumes, right? But that's why you have to really build these processes in. So side note really quickly, if you are loving all of what I'm going to share today, and even what I've shared so far, if you haven't already dove into my secret podcast, okay, it goes way deeper into not only my ADHD business strategies, but also personal strategies. Because I don't know what you've been told about business life balance, okay? But it's bullshit. It's bullshit. There is no work-life balance. You have to learn how to work with them together. Your business affects your life, and your life will affect your business. And I don't give a fuck what anybody else tells you. There is no such thing. If you had even if you're not an entrepreneur, you had a bad day at work, you come home, you take it out on your spouse, you take it out on your kids. That's how it happens. You had a great day at work, you come home excited, you're ready to roll around on the floor playing with your kids. It's just how it works. Okay. So if you are on Facebook, you can or Instagram, you could drop secret 25. It's all one word, secret 25, in the comments, and we'll send you a DM with the instant access to the secret podcast. Okay. It's behind the scenes. It's not my typical podcast. It's a mini series. It's 10 episodes, but it really dives into all of the aspects of being an ADHD entrepreneur. If you're on TikTok or LinkedIn or YouTube, you can find it in my Stan store, and you can still get instant access. But unfortunately, I can't automatically DM that to you. Okay. But really I highly recommend that if you are struggling with any of this, or you're an ADHD entrepreneur, or even if maybe you're not diagnosed, I'm not a medical person, but if you struggle with focus and productivity, dive into it. All right. So there are 3 stages of the ADHD burnout cycle. All right. And I want you to tell me which one you can relate to most in the comments. The first is hyper-focus mode. So you get this burst of energy, you dive headfirst into a project, you're so excited about it, you're passionate, all the energy is just, the momentum is there, right? And you work for hours or days with little to no breaks. You don't pee, you don't eat, you don't sleep. You are on a mission. Like, I am not getting up until this is finished, right? And you feel unstoppable. You feel invincible until you're not. So comment hyperfocus if this is you. And I will tell you right now, because I want you to let me know which one of these you relate to the most. This is the one I relate to the most. And it is a curse and it is a blessing. And I have to find balance between those because I could build a bridge in a day. I'm not kidding. And we would not leave that work site until it's finished. But what does that do? Right? That takes it out on my health, that takes it out on my, my family, that really just that's not sustainable. You can't do it forever. And you have to learn how to use your hyper focus in a way that is productive and not in a way that is avoidance. Because a lot of times as ADHD entrepreneurs, when we hyper focus on something, we are just avoiding doing the thing we don't want to do. So we're hyper focused on the thing that we like or something new or organizing our Canva. Like seriously. Okay. The cycle number 2 is crash and avoidance. So when that dopamine fades, all right, you realize you're exhausted, you're overwhelmed, and you start avoiding work and you're scrolling aimlessly, you're disappearing from your business. This even shows up in your household, right? You started painting that wall in the bathroom. You're so excited that hyper focus is kicked in at 1 a.m. You're like, we're about to redesign this whole bathroom. I've been wanting to do it forever. And you get about one wall painted and you're like, oh my God, this is going to take forever. It's so boring. You get overwhelmed. And then now it's 6 months later and you only have one wall painted. You still got the painter's tape on the baseboard, right? All the knobs are off the cabinets. You still ain't put them back on because that dopamine faded. That excitement faded. And so now you feel guilty because it's still sitting there. The same thing's happening in your business. You feel guilty because you should be working, okay, but you can't. Or you should be doing that thing you're avoiding, whether it be, going in the DMs and firing a client that's terrible, or sending out an email today to sell your offer, but you have that fear of rejection, so you just hold back, or posting that damn content that is bold and assertive and audacious, but you're fearful you're going to be canceled. So you are avoiding. Let me know. Comment avoidance in the comments if that's you. Okay. We all have things we avoid doing, but ADHD entrepreneurs are exceptional at making it seem like we're being productive, and we're not. All right. And the third cycle here is that emergency scramble mode. So this is where like a deadline or financial pressure or panic forces you back into action. So this is where you put something off, right? Maybe and it's funny because you will go through all of these cycles. So let's kind of work through this. You go through this cycle in January and you hyper focus. You're like, this year I'm getting my shit together. I am going to build that business I promised myself I was going to build. And you're focused and you're motivated and you're all in and you're posting content every day and you're working on making your offer and you're niching down. You're doing all the shit, right? And it's so exciting until it's not, right? Until you have to build the workflows and you have to write the emails and all the things you don't want to do. And so you're like, fuck this, I'm out, right? And you go into avoidance mode. And so then your dopamine's faded, you're exhausted, you're overwhelmed, you're looking at 12 modules you filmed for this course you said you were going to launch a year ago. And you're like, oh, I don't want to write the emails to sell it. I don't want to write the sales page. And you start avoiding it. And then, okay, so we're at the end of January, you're avoiding it. February comes and your air conditioning goes out in your house and they come to your house and they say it's going to be $7,000 to replace it. True story, by the way. Had to replace my AC in January. $7,000. Okay. Now you've got a deadline or you've got financial pressure because you're like, holy shit, I didn't make any sales in January. We're halfway through February. I haven't made any sales yet. How am I going to pay for this? I got to put it on a credit card. What credit card? Oh my God, I'm going to have to pay interest on it. And you start panicking because now there's a deadline because the guy says, hey, I'm coming Friday to put that AC in. You can't go without AC because you live in Mississippi and it's like 100 degrees. Okay. And so now you've got a deadline and financial pressure and you panic and it forces you back into action. So you enter hyper focus again and you keep repeating this cycle. If this is not the truest fucking thing you've ever heard about being an ADHD entrepreneur, I want you to DM me and tell me it's a lie. I am interested in seeing how many damn people tell me it's a lie, because I can tell you from experience, this is how it works until you make the change. Okay. But each burnout gets worse and your recovery takes longer every time, because one, you haven't even recovered from the last 8-day hyperfocus binge physically or mentally. And then two, every time you add more of this cycle to it, your to-do list is getting longer, your task list is getting longer, the amount of shit that's unfinished is piling up. And so now you've entered back into hyper-focus mode and you're like, oh, I still didn't even finish the last thing. So now not only do you have this overwhelming sense of, I don't know where to start or prioritize, but you also have this fear of this cycle is going to happen again. This fear of rejection, this executive dysfunction takes over. And you're like, why am I even starting this? I'm not going to finish it. And then you start it again. Okay. So comment scramble. I see people saying, I feel so seen. Look, again, I don't come on here and talk about shit I read in a book. Like, this is real life. This is the life I had. Okay. And it doesn't just stop. You have to fix it. So if you want to get off that burnout roller coaster, again, DM me momentum on Instagram or Facebook. Okay. I cannot send you all of the things on TikTok. I'm so sorry. I love TikTok, but I can't. So you'll have to go to Instagram, or you can get the information right there in my stand store. Either way. But this is why I am creating the ADHDpreneur Academy. I am teaching you how to build systems. And I'm not talking about, I'm just teaching you. Okay. My entire structure for that program is action. Like me giving you templates and saying, here it is, let's fucking go. I want you to start using this now. Templates for your dashboard, your sales page, your structure, your content strategy, your content repurposing strategy, your CEO, everything you need. Because I don't want you to have any more excuses to go hyper focus on, oh, I'm going to get my shit together today. And then 4 weeks later, you've reorganized your Google Drive and started a new offer, even though you didn't sell the last one. So if you are an ADHDpreneur and you know that implementation is your struggle, this burnout roller coaster is your life, this is your time. So again, you can find all of the information on that in my stand store. If you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can comment the word momentum or DM it to me, and I will send you the waitlist for the academy, because it launches 5 days from now. We open enrollment, and then we get into action, like actual action, April 2nd. So you got about, I don't know how many days are in March, 30. You got about 12 days until I take over your life and we get your fucking business under control. So let me move into part 3 really quickly here, because I got a podcast recording in 6 minutes. So how to break that burnout cycle. All right. The ADHD-friendly business strategy. 1, you have to work with your energy, not just time blocks. Okay. Now, I love time blocks, but they have to be around your energy cycles. And that's where you're screwing up. Neurotypicals really teach you to time block during certain hours, but your best energy may come at 11 p.m. It may come at 2 a.m. You don't have to adjust your energy patterns to what they say you have to do. And you don't have to be productive 8 hours a day. You have to structure your week around your energy patterns. So I teach to use your high energy days for deep work and creativity, your low energy days for admin, batching, or the rest. And you're probably like, well, how do I know what day is what? I promise I got a way to teach you to figure it out. Okay. When you stop the burnout cycle, you'll be able to identify what days are high energy and what days aren't. And I promise I've mastered this. Okay. Step 2 of this is creating safety nets for low energy days. So when you burnout proof your business with automation, evergreen content, pre-planned workflows, you have all of these systems set in place that are running in the background for you, and you have a low energy day, you are not beating yourself up going, I suck. This just isn't work. I don't know why I can't be consistent. And you don't go down that rabbit hole spiral and ghost your business for a week. When you know what you're doing, it becomes so much easier. Okay. For example, any of my content, I don't give a shit what platform you watch it on or have watched on. Any of my content you're seeing in March was scheduled the whole month. And I'm talking about YouTube, LinkedIn, all of my podcasts, all of my TikToks, all of my threads, Facebook, Instagram, all of it. 100% scheduled. Because I knew that this month I was building my program, my signature program, and that I needed to be in deep building this program, building these templates for you, building these dashboards for you so that I can launch the program for ADHD entrepreneurs. I knew that ahead of time. I knew this month was going to be deep work. And so I don't have time to be fucking around on Facebook trying to get a post up. Like, I don't have time for that. Now, I always schedule my content, honestly, but I don't have time to have low energy days this month and deal with the bullshit on social media. Because I can tell you, if you're not building off social media, you're not building a business, okay? You're building an influencer. You're becoming an influencer. You're trying to be an influencer. And that shit's sailing. Influencers are going away. AI bots and AI influencers are what is coming in the future. They're not even going to have to pay real people. People are building their own influencer bots. So I really hope you're building off social media and you're prepared for that. Okay. And so this is really, again, what the ADHDpreneur Academy is about. It is where we build these burnout proof systems together. And I will send you all the details, or you can get all the details in my Stan store. Last thing here, ADHD brains crave instant dopamine. So you have to reward action, not just results. And that's where you've been messing up. You have been beating yourself up because you're not getting the results that you expected. And the reason you're not getting the results you expected is because you're not rewarding your action. And so because you're not rewarding your action, you keep beating yourself up about not seeing those results. And so you're not in the mindset to actually get results. That's when burnout happens, is when we only reward those big wins. Instead of waiting to celebrate that 10K month, celebrate every single fucking Stripe notification that comes through that Gmail account of yours, because somebody's giving you their money. Somebody saw value. When you start doing that, you will show up 1,000 times more confident, more convicted, and be more motivated to stay plugged into your business. And again, your energy as an ADHD entrepreneur is tied to your emotion. So when you're beating yourself up 24/7 because you didn't get the results you wanted to get, or that Sally Sue is over there lying about with her Stan store screenshots anyway, because you're not getting those kinds of fake ass results anyway, you're comparing yourself, you're getting imposter syndrome, your energy is down, your emotions are down. So of course your energy is down. So of course you don't want to show up in your business the way you need to. You need to start celebrating your progress more. Okay. So again, this is the whole burnout cycle: hyperfocus, avoidance, emergency, scramble. And look, again, if this hits home with you, make sure you're plugged into the No BS CEO Secrets podcast. You can get instant access to that. It is 10 behind the scenes, episodes, a mini series of exactly how I built my multi-six-figure business with my ADHD. And again, at Academy waitlist is open now. So I got to run. I wanted today to be short and sweet, and I always end up talking way too long. But you don't need to work harder. You need a business that runs when you are at 100% or not. Okay. So if this hit home, if you have any questions about the Academy waitlist, shoot me a DM on IG. I'll be plugged into that after I do my podcast recording today. I got a recording with someone in 30 seconds. And as always, make it simple, make it social, make it awesome. You're wired for success. So it is time for you to build that. All right. Hope you'll plug into the podcast, and I'll see you in the Academy. Bye, guys.